Hey, Pokemon Masters, Birdkeepertoby here. Is capturing Pokemon wrong? It's something I've discussed before, and I came to the conclusion that no. Capturing Pokemon, of course, couldn't be wrong because that's how you help a Pokemon achieve Mega Evolution. Pokemon are your friends. However, that's in the Pokemon world, and in the real world, PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, would disagree. In fact, in the Pokemon world, there's an organization known as Team Plasma who fight for the same ideals, the liberation of all Pokemon and the freedom from their human captors. So why do we see them as the evil organization when things simply aren't that black and white? If you're new here, make sure you subscribe for weekly Pokemon videos, including Pokemon theories about Sun and Moon. But for now, let's get started. So we're going to reanalyze this question with a more philosophical take on it. Jeremy Bentham of the 18th and 19th century was a philosopher who believed that a good quality of life was one where the pleasure outweighed the pain. Of course, in the Pokemon world, the life of the Pokemon that gets caught is one where it is battled nearly to the point of fainting to be more effective in its capture. And if it's not lucky enough to faint, it's going to end up serving a human trainer. And that human trainer's intentions aside, the only time it's coming out of that Pokeball is to fight in more battles. And yes, it may achieve Mega Evolution, but only to keep fighting. I mean, let's face it, that's probably the argument you've heard before in relation to this question as to why it's wrong to capture Pokemon. But how about this? Even if battling the Pokemon is okay, absorbing their life force is something that the game frowns upon. And yet it's something that constantly humans do in the Pokemon world. The Devon Corporation, or in New Marvel. These are organizations in the Pokemon world that absorb the life energy of Pokemon to fuel technologies, human technologies. Jeremy Bentham said that the time would come when all people would have to reassess how they treated animals. But Pokemon have it worse than animals. Not only are they battling and being captured and having their life force absorbed, they're also being eaten. And in some cases, their body parts, like a slowpoke tail, is just getting dismembered for human profit. However, maybe it's not all that bad. After all, ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle might have argued with Jeremy Bentham. Because, of course, people and Pokemon can form long-lasting friendships, and Aristotle was big on the importance of friendships. In fact, Aristotle said there were 3 types of friendships, one of pleasure, one of utility, and one of virtue. And surely your relationship to the Pokemon has all 3 of those. I mean, after all, you have a good time with your Pokemon, the pleasure is there. In terms of utility, well, your Pokemon and you travel the world together. They help you surf and smash boulders and cut trees. And Pokemon show virtuous signs, so surely it matches all 3 of those things. Well, yes, but only in regards to the human having all 3 of those things. For the Pokemon, it's an unhealthy relationship. As we've already discussed, the Pokemon doesn't really get much pleasure. The pleasure comes from you winning battles. As for utility, the Pokemon isn't surfing on your back. And virtue? Let's face it, all you're doing is going around using your Pokemon to beat other Pokemon to a pulp so you can win shiny gym badges. So it seems maybe Aristotle would have been disappointed with this kind of relationship. In fact, is the 10-year-old trainer really that much better than Team Rocket? Aristotle would have thought probably not. But maybe I'm coming at this from completely the wrong angle and prepare for things to get bleaker. I know you want to turn around, but the truth of the matter is, maybe it doesn't even matter that Pokemon suffer. Because as Immanuel Kant's philosophy stands, when it comes to animals, you don't have any kind of direct moral responsibility. The fact that you're cruel to animals isn't a bad thing because they suffer, according to him. It's a bad thing because people who are cruel to animals tend to be more cruel towards people. Which we see a lot in the Pokemon world with Team Rocket, who are cruel to both people and Pokemon. And we already know the human trainer's cruel to Pokemon, so what about people? Well, your challenge is kind of to see everyone as just a target to defeat. And those gym leaders are just the boss level, and once you beat them, you get a shiny badge so that you can humiliate them with it. Worse than that though, is that when you defeat a human trainer, you take their money, their livelihood, you just take it. So yeah, people who are cruel to Pokemon like the trainers are cruel to each other as well. Still, I think all of that is just some philosophical talk, and personally, I still believe that Pokemon love to be friends with their human trainers.
Birdkeepertoby!
Ollie from Philosophy Tube!
I need your help. I think Mewtwo is starting a revolution of Pokemon, and we have to stop him.
What are you talking about?
There's no time to explain. Come over to my channel right now! Not just him, I need all of you Pokemon Masters to help me stop Mewtwo. So click on the annotation and I'll see you on my channel in a minute.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeepertoby. That makes you a Pokemon Master!